Working on the 73 Challenger. As you can see, we have a lot of issues on the roof on this one. This is a vinyl top car. Have no idea what happened to it over the years. I picked this up a few years ago at a garage sale. It is a 1973 340 4-speed car, rally edition. Got all matching numbers car, but anyhow, it is a vinyl top car. As you can see, it is shot. So what I'm doing today is going ahead and I'm drilling out the old roof. You can see all the spot welds here. Here one's popped a little bit, another one. I tried using a grinder at first, but then you can't really tell how deep you go. And again, just hitting all those. This one I pried up a little bit to see how deep I was getting. I got it to pop. Now if you look at some of these, what I'm using is actually a spot weld drill a bit. So popping those in there and getting those in. And what I'm looking for, obviously, too deep. Right here you can kind of see a little perimeter of rust and stuff. See the different coloration where it's not shiny, so that kind of tells me I'm through far enough to get it to pop. And again, similar here, I'm through enough to get it to pop. So again, simply just looking for a little bit of that discoloration in there when I'm going through these welds. Now obviously I'm going to have to remove the front windshield also and get the spot welds along here, and also going to have to go across the back and pop that window for the same reason. Like I say, this car's pretty much beat to crap. I did find, as you can see up there by my wife's gremlin, I did find another skin for the top that I'm going to replace it with. So this is just the first step, is getting all these spot welds drilled and the glass out, and I'll continue with the repair. Alright, for getting the window out too, basically what I'm doing is I'm taking a utility knife and just coming along here, breaking her loose. In there, there's an actual wedge in here though that comes out, and this is true on the 70, I know too. Helps hold it up, because you need to put this in here to kind of help align the window up and down. So it's a wedge to form that, and then of course you want to leave a little gap here, because here you can see where the caulking goes in to seal the window. So I'm thinking what they do is they leave that a little high in order to get enough caulking behind, and then of course to align it with your top too, so depending on the size of the glass. Alright, here we are, got the glass out in the toasted car. Again, you can see that something went through the roof right in here, right back here. Something hit hard and obviously did some damage here. And then when you look inside, of course, you can see that whatever it was came back and tweaked right there, and apparently went out the back. So God knows what they hit or when. But up here it's a little damaged too. And then of course on this cross member right here behind, you can't see it because the angle comes from the other side, but they just screwed it in up here as opposed to the welds. So what I've got left to do then is to go ahead and just hit all these spot welds across here, cut her off high, and here somewhere I think is where I'm going to go. And you can see I got a bunch of the spot welds already drilled out here. And then of course we need to pop the back glass out and get that done. But yeah, so there's the roof that's going to go on. Of course I'll clean it up before it even goes in, and inside and out. And then of course while the glass is out, we'll get the dash in too. And I got a new dash, well, an OEM that somebody had that it's a really good replacement. So there you go so far. Alright, so far now we're getting her along pretty good. I started cutting the top off using, your favorite cut-off wheel here. So I'm going ahead and getting her cut off at the top here. Also, I used tape kind of as a straight edge. I highly recommend that you wear a mask when you do this, because there is a lead line actually where they join the top and stuff right here. And your lead's going to run right through in this area somewhere, this area here somewhere where they joined the top, I believe. You can see the little seam area right here. Well, back in the day, of course, they used to lead these. So be careful, you know, make sure you wear a mask and stuff when you're doing this. That will protect you against that. But yeah, I just kind of use that as a straight line. As you can see, I got most of the spot welds, as far as I can tell, to pop loose because of the damage up here on the roof that somebody tried to repair, you know, kind of half-assed with the rivets and stuff. Obviously, that's why it's coming off again. But yeah, once I started popping these in here, again, what it really did, all of a sudden it tweaked. I heard it pop at one point. It was popping itself, so there's something under stress underneath here from more than likely that damage. But watch your sparks when you're doing it, because obviously you got stuff on the interior that, you know, could certainly catch fire if you've got carpet and stuff in there, which I left. I'm not concerned about it because I'm going to take it out, but I do have a fire extinguisher handy also. And as for getting the glass and things out when you're doing that, I use pretty simple tools. I didn't have what I usually have a couldn't find it. Use this putty spreader, and really all I did was take the thing up to my grinder, and I sharpened a sharper edge on the leading edge here, and really all I did was come up from underneath and wedge that in between the glass all the way around the window. And then I would you know, right tool for the job. Obviously this isn't a drywall knife. Also use that in there to wedge in so it wouldn't get stuck back down at certain points. And when I could get it to move enough, I would actually use the same thing I've got here for separating the metal. I took the paint sticks, put them in between as I would wedge it, but be real careful. The back glass is thinner than the front even, so you just got to take your time, make sure you're separating the glass all the way across, taking out any of the black packing that you can, that has oozed out the top and bottom, will cause it to wedge more. And then of course the bottom part's always the most difficult, trying to get something wedged in there underneath. But as you're pushing from the inside, just be real gentle and just kind of go around the edges, and as you can get your wedges in up underneath there, do that. And then again, just keep going round and round and round with your utility knife. I also used in a flat razor to just separate that. All right, the roof is off. Be cool if you could leave something like this open, but anyhow, it's off. It's taken a while, of course, to get all those little spot welds. Again, you're going to almost need to, you know, like right here's one. Of course, I blew through a couple of them. No biggie. I'll just put a backing in there and I'll fill those holes up. But on this side here, if you look at like this one right here, the top, you could see the dimple. But for some reason, it looked like it was offset. So under here, you could feel the spot weld here, and here's like where the other side of the spot weld are joined up. So you can feel the dimple underneath here from the spot weld on this side, but you couldn't see it here. The top one was here. So it's like it welded off at an angle. So anyhow, get all those off, get her cut. You know, be careful when you're cutting so you don't cut into the subframe. Obviously, I'm going to clean up a bunch of this stuff here, clean this up to here. And then, of course, get that all cleaned up so I can put it on. We'll sandblast it and stuff, and then probably coat it with chassis saber to prevent future rust issues. And that's it. Again, this needs to be pulled out. I do have another one that came with that roof back there, so I do have one of those. So obviously that was tweaked when the roof was tweaked too. So I think it still has all these little wire clips for the dome light in it too, so I'm going to pop that out and put a different one in, and if I need be, I can pop those off of there, drill them out, and then just move them over to the other cross member. And then of course the dash will come soon, so I can get in there and finish up my dash video for everyone. Okay, here I am. I'm out working on getting the cutoffs correct on the new roof that I'm putting on. So this is obviously an old piece of crap one. What I've done is I've gone ahead and I've placed a template so I can make sure and get my cut line in the same spot. So essentially to use some of the old rosin paper and stuff here, and obviously I had to crease a little bit so I could get the bend around the corner here, and then I cut it off in here so I have a template so I can lay it over the top of the new roof in line, and I can get this line pretty darn close to where it needs to be when I recut. But what I'll probably do is cut just a little bit low because I don't want to cut it too short, obviously, and then I will go ahead and file her down or grind it down carefully to get that fitment correct for putting the new roof on. So now I'll take the tape off the top here, or the whole template off. I'll place it on the new roof and get the correct cut line. Getting the new top on here, went ahead and cut off the old shabby bottom from when they apparently take it out of the yard. It's kind of a mess. So again, just a mess here. And get it right as I went out to the old that I cut off, and then I made myself this template right here. And I needed some way to figure out, and I'm sure I could have done it mathematically too, but when you can use a template, and all I did was take it and cut it and line it up. So of course it met where it needed to meet here and here. So it gave me a great position to do it in. So, and then of course I taped off a line below, and of course I cut it a little bit long. So I'd rather grind it off than to try to, obviously come back and try to fill an area. So, I mean, we're really darn close. If you can see underneath there, it's right on top of it. So I'll do a little grinding or filing across here, and then we'll get it ready for welding up. And then of course I still have to do a lot of finish work, get this cleaned up along the drip rail, fill any holes in that I went through, and kind of clean that up, along with getting the front corner here done and the opposing corner also.